Are you a big saver and you're putting your money in a CD? Well, I'll let you know right now. Putting your money in a CD is why smart savers still feel stuck. If you consider a CD an investment, then you must consider a treadmill a form of transportation. Welcome to the Wealth Twin Show. Let's talk about it. Nicole, why do you think or why do you not think a CD is a good investment?
Well, first off, I have to say you're coming pretty hard at people, Nadia,
I
okay?
am,
But
I am.
CDs provide a purpose. But if we're talking about investments, a CD is not an investment because it's not meant to give you a return, okay? A CD is meant to return money to you. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay. A CD is meant to protect your money. When we're talking about investments, an investment is meant to grow your money. So the fact that you're getting CDs from banks and they're locking your money up to protect your money so that you don't lose it, and they're giving you a little interest on top to make you feel happy, that is not the intent for it to grow your money. It's an intent to have it protect your money. So therefore, for me, the very first thing I will tell you, a CD is not an investment. Okay, it's a way to save money and get a little bit higher interest than you would on a regular savings account. Okay.
Now, I will say, when we come across people who like investing in CDs, it's because they think they are investing for themselves because they're putting their money away, they're getting interest on it, right? My thing is, a CD does nothing more than make the banks comfortable and make the banks more money. Now, why do I say that? I say that because if you look at the big banks like Chase, for instance, right? Chase is going to pay you little to no money on these CDs. I think once you get, like, if you get into maybe the 18-month range, maybe they're paying you 3.65, 4% on your money in a CD. And that's if you're putting in over $100,000, right? The banks right now are using that money and they're loaning it out at much higher rates. When you have a CD, you're making a contract with the bank that say, here, hold my money, do whatever you want with it right now. And then if I ask for it early, I'm going to get some kind of penalty. My thing is this: if you are using your CD as a form of investment, you're not going to build wealth. You are just losing your wealth and you're getting your money eaten up by inflation. Many people think that CDs are something that they should be proud of. My thing is right now, if you look at the rates that the CDs are paying, there's no really reason to be in a CD because there's high yield savings accounts that are paying probably the same or more than a CD that doesn't come with the same requirements or restrictions that these CDs have on your money and give you a lot more flexibility.
Now, I want to say something when it comes to people, the mindset when it comes to getting a CD. One, you are a good saver,
Yeah.
right? Because, like Nadia mentioned, the rates actually fluctuate even if you have the same time frame as someone. The relationship you have with a bank is what determines if you get a better rate or not, right? So basically, a bank is taking its best customers, which in the case of a bank, which is actually a business, means the customers that have put their most trust and their most money inside that bank. Now, Nadia is telling you also something behind the scenes, which is the bank is giving you interest to lock up your money. The way a bank actually provides value and get the share price to go up, right, is to perform other functions that are money making activities, which are charging their customers fees and also getting into other business opportunities, which allows them to get a higher rate of return on their investments than what they're paying out their customers on these CD rates. Okay. Now, what's the type of customer that actually goes into a CD? One, you're a customer that has already and should, if you're investing in CDs, you should already have established your emergency fund, okay? Because the fact that you cannot take that money out over a period of time means that you're comfortable enough to put a certain amount of money aside and it doesn't affect you paying your bills or taking care of emergency expenses. So that right there tells me that you're a good customer for the bank. You're not a person that moves money in and out of the bank that often. So a bank likes that. Okay. And then a bank wants to say, okay, now I have this customer I know is pretty stable for me. How can I make it so that they feel that they're getting a little bit special treatment? Well, the relationship with the bank and the higher interest rate that you're getting on it. So there's things that are involved with that. But the CD rates and this mechanism of a CD benefits the bank more than you if you think a CD is an investment. Okay. If you think it's a way to just protect your money, then yes, you have a benefit of that as being a customer of the bank that you like, and they're having another way for you to protect your money.
I would normally agree with you on that, but I will disagree with it. I don't think a CD is a good way to protect your money because one thing, you're in a contract and you cannot get out of that contract. So let's say you want to put more money into a CD. Once your a set amount that you put in your initial CD is done, you can't add more money into it, right? And that money is sitting in there for a certain amount of time. Are you protecting that money? Well, sort of, because you know you're going to get that money back plus a bit of interest. But at the end of the day, you're losing buying power, especially if the rates on those CDs start changing and they go up. Now you're locked into a rate that's lower than what you could possibly get with that same amount of money, but you're locked into it. And if you pull your money out, you're going to suffer some early withdrawal penalties. Now, these early withdrawal penalties are probably one of the biggest things that I have with CDs, right? One, let's say you have a CD, and some banks right now are giving you like a little bit of a period that if they change the rates within 10 days, like Marcus, they change the rate within 10 days, they'll allow you to switch out the CD, right? But for most part, you're locked into the CD and you can't do anything about it. Say you want to get out of it, say there's something else that you can probably put your money in that's paying you higher interest. These CDs are not liquid. I can't sell a CD that I lock my money up for a certain amount of time and put it into something else. I can't sell it to someone else. It's not liquid. And at the same time that I'm sitting there losing money in this CD, if I break it, say I didn't have that CD for long enough and I hit that penalty, let's say that there's a 3 month interest penalty on that CD if I break it early, right? Let's say I had it for less than 3 months. They can dip into my principal. That's insane to me. Why would I lock up my money like that and have a potential to lose money because I broke a contract early? To me, a CD is an antiquated product that banks offer when there's so many things right now that are paying better, have more flexibility, and allow you to make a better rate of return on your money, even if you are hesitant to put your money in the stock market, which by far will most likely beat the CD in the time period you're holding.
One of the reasons you and I decided to make the Well Twins channel was
Mhm.
to pretty much tell people, hey, you have options. Because many of us did not grow up learning about all the options, what you could do with your money. So, this is the reason why we're making this type of videos, right? Because, yes, we were taught that a bank is a great place to put your money. And wow, bank products, CDs, that is a great place to grow your money and protect it. But guys, guess what? There are other options out here, and you just have to be aware of them. Okay. So I want to summarize basically what Nadia and I have said since we started this video. So there's really three reasons why Nadia and I don't put our money in CDs. One would be we don't like the interest that you get on it, right? Because it's not meant to grow your money. It's meant to return the money back to you, and it benefits the bank more than it actually benefits the customer. Two, it's not flexible. If an opportunity came up where you could actually take that money, that lump sum money, and actually make a return on it, you can't, because you will face most likely a penalty that they will actually take money away from you. So then you actually lose money on something that you meant to use to protect your money. And then three, Nadia mentioned this a little bit, but I'll make it a little bit more in depth, is the reinvestment risk. You only know what your rate, your APY will be on that CD for whatever time period you have. Say you get a 3 month CD, right? You only know you're getting about 4% on that CD for that time frame. But what happens after that CD matures? You can't guarantee what the next rate will be. Okay. So having that type of strategy of I'm going to keep reinvesting, right? And maybe even a CD ladder, you're not sure what the next rate will be, because guess what? The CD rates are actually based on what the Fed does. So whichever way the Fed moves, that can either have an effect on lowering the CD rates or increasing the CD rates. And we already know if they're above inflation, which sometimes they're not, the rate of inflation, then it really doesn't help you with maintaining buying power. But if they are, they're not going to be that much above where inflation is. So, as Nadia was saying too, there's other options available. And Nadia, you did mention one. You talked about high yield savings account. One, because it gave you more flexibility where you can take your money in and out, and the rates are pretty similar. But what other? But the problem with high yield savings account is that the rate can change much faster than the CD rates. But what other investments that could be investments that people who are using CDs to protect their money could use?
Well, I'll give you two. One, you can look at treasuries, right? If you want to start investing your money and do it in something that's relatively risk free, you can go start buying US treasuries. Or if you want to stick with CDs, you can look at brokerage CDs instead of just a bank CD. Now, the issue with a broker CD is that you need to have some kind of investment knowledge when you start investing your money in these. These are securities. They're not a savings type of vehicle, right? So you need to understand different phrases like whether it's callable. If the brokerage calls it back, or say, look, we don't want to pay that rate anymore, we call it back. Now your money has to find another place, right? So those are my two options. If you want to step your foot into some kind of investing, Treasuries are probably the best way. Or if you want to stick with CDs, look at broker CDs because they do offer similar rates, but they also offer more liquidity. But there's a lot of other things that go along with it. So if you're not educated enough to deal with that, then start investing in other instruments within the stock market. And Nicole and I do teach that.
No, when I want to give people the option when it comes to, so there's two different ways. If you have to understand what your goals are for your money. One, if
Yep.
you want to protect it and only protect it, but get a little higher interest rate and get more flexibility. I agree. The treasuries, like a T-bill, right? They have 3-month T-bills. They have longer T-bills. They will give you around the same interest rate that you're getting on a CD, right? They will lock up your money for a little bit of time as well, but they also give you a risk-free return just like you would with a CD. Now, the benefit of going into treasuries, right, is that they are also tax exempt at some level, either the federal level or the state level. I believe it's the federal level, where so the income you make off of it is tax exempt. Whereas with the CD, you're getting taxed at the federal and the state level. Okay, so there right there gives you a better thing to use. Again, high yield savings account as well. These are places you can use to protect your money. Now, when it comes to growing your money and still do it in a safer way, right? Especially if you want to hold that money over a long period of time, especially if you're a person that's doing ladders for years. Yes, you can also use mutual funds, right? But I say passive mutual funds. So you're not paying that much in fees. But what's great about funds is that you're actually getting the diversification and the asset allocation, which allows you to be less risk associated. Okay. So it helps you lower your risk, but also, so which is able to help you get a better chance of protecting your principal. But on the other side, because it's an investment, it actually allows you to grow your money. So if that's your goal, then I agree with Nadia. You should be learning how to invest, right? Because really, if you're a good saver, it's not that you need more safety, is that you need a new strategy. And if the new strategy, which Nadia and I believe is a strategy that we use to grow our money because we were good savers as well, is to learn how to invest in a safer way using diversified assets and learning how to understand how to use those assets over a long period of time to help you actually grow your money. So, with that, yes, if you believe that you're a good saver and you only need a new strategy and you need someone to actually help you with that, I invite you to join our school group. And Nadi, can you tell them what's the name of our school group and a little bit more about it?
Yeah, our school group is called the WealthPack Community. This is where we post our newsletter. This is where we post resources and guides. And this one we have discussions about money. It is a paid group, it's a small fee, but you learn a lot in there. And it also gets you access to learn about the programs that we have in order to teach you to start learning how to invest. Because if you're a good saver, but you're bad at growing money, then you need to learn how to invest in order to grow that money because that's the next step after being a good saver. This is how you build your wealth. So I invite you also to join the Wealth Pack School community. The link is in the description below. And you're going to find other people that are on the same journey as you, and you get to interact with them. And you get to interact with Nicole and I, which is a little more different than what you're able to do on this YouTube channel. And this is how you take that first step on your financial journey to move from being a good saver to learning how to make your money work for you and less for the banks. Okay? And if you like this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, and share it with someone you care about. And we'll see you in the next one.